Good evening and welcome in to the Manchester Basketball Centre here in Whalley Range. We've got some WNBL Division 1 action for you today here on the Manchester Mystics and Magic YouTube channel as the Manchester Mystics host the London All-Stars. Manchester coming into this game 7 wins and 1 loss, sitting in first place coming into this weekend. They were joint first with Kohler, who were also on 14 points. And they're on a 5-game winning streak in the league, 7 wins overall, including National Cup games. So a really strong start to the season so far for the Mystics. Coming out on top against Anglia Ruskin last weekend, 67-59, down 12 points, and then came back for the win behind 21 points from Alex Hernandez off the bench. Kaz Bullock here alongside Isha Naya, and we'll be with you throughout the game that's due to tip off in around 30 seconds time. So the London All-Stars, 2 wins and 5 losses. They're in 9th place, but that record really does not reflect the season that this team have been having and the talent that they have out on the floor. A team that have been promoted from Division 2 last season have had wins against the Bromsgrove Bears and Anglia Ruskin. Playing against Ipswich last weekend, had a 76-61 loss, and it was Kat Goldsby, new signing Kat Goldsby, who I'm sure we'll talk about a lot very shortly, Isha. But Kat Goldsby with 24 points, 8 rebounds and 5 steals, and Rebecca Morrison with 13 points and 9 rebounds in that game against Ipswich.
Yeah, I mean, Kat Goldsby, we've seen her play a lot of basketball in this D1 league. Previously at TVC, it was TVC when she played there, to be fair.
5 years playing for the London or TVC Cavs for Kat Goldsby.
But yeah, Kat Goldsby, I mean, yeah, really high caliber player. Won the National Cup with TVC in 22-23 season. Played them quite well, as we said. I mean, 5.1 steals per game,
5.9 steals.
Apologies, 5.9 steals per game.
Basically.
Yeah, and like currently this season averaging 17.6 points per game, which is 8th in the league. So it's like she can get it done on both ends of the floor. Big threat. So.
She certainly can. It's going to be really interesting to see the matchup today. So teams out on the floor, it's the London All-Stars playing in purple and the Mystics in red. And for the tip, it will be Idowu for the Mystics and Ita Rock for the All-Stars. And first possession goes to the All-Stars, and Goldsby finds Demir Helena on the baseline, and the All-Stars get things started. A 2-0 lead. Spence, long 2, gets it to go. And Kizzy Spence, she's been absolutely fantastic for the Mystics so far this season. 19.7 points per game, 4th in the WNBL. She's been an explosive scorer as Hunt drops in 2 more for the All-Stars.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to open the game. Both teams getting off the mark really quickly. It could be in for a high-scoring game here if this continues.
Yeah, 2 teams that definitely like to score the basketball, as Spence, high arcing 3, doesn't go. And ball's tipped to the All-Stars. Goldsby will set things up here as Hunt going inside, back-to-back buckets for Jess Hunt.
Yeah, the Cavs have got off to a flyer so far. I mean, 6 consecutive baskets.
6
points, yeah.
Win, run here as Chinamasa answers for the Mystics. Leads back down to 2 for the All-Stars. Goldsby. Isle Rock. Hunt. 8 seconds on the clock. Goldsby drops it inside. Hunt. Great catch and finish there from Hunt. And 6 straight baskets from Jess Hunt and the All-Stars. Has Rob Fairley on the sideline calling a timeout for the Mystics.
Yeah, I mean, what an opening it has been for the Cavs. 8 points straight away. Oh, sorry. Apologies. All London All-Stars, yeah. What a start it's been for the London All-Stars. I mean, as I said, 4 consecutive buckets, 8 points already. I mean, they haven't missed. The Mystics, this isn't kind of the defense that we're used to seeing from them. I mean, we know they're a really defensive team. For the Cavs, for the London All-Stars to be able to put up this many points straight away. I mean, credit to them. They've been able to find some good plays, some good cuts, good drives to the basket. But yeah, the Mystics are really going to have to step up their defense if they want to take this win.
So Mystics with the second best defense in Division 1 this season, 59 points a game they hold their opponents to. But the All-Stars, the third best defense, holding teams to just under 62 points. So these are two teams that are really evenly matched when you look at what they're putting up. 66.3 points a game for Manchester, 57 for London. They really, really match each other well in so many categories.
Yeah, they do. I mean, we could be in for a really good game here today.
So just over 8 minutes to play, and it's a 4-point All-Stars lead. So teams coming back out onto the floor. And it will be Manchester ball. Chinamasa going to set things up here for Manchester. Chinamasa has been absolutely fantastic facilitating so far this season for the Mystics. 7th in assists per game with just under 4. Hands it off to Perdomo, as Perdomo called for the travel, and the All-Stars will have it back. Ball's in, Goldsby. Over to Eitelrock. Eitelrock going inside, scoop shot, doesn't go, but she's going to go to the foul line. And a chance for 2 here at the free throw line. So Summer Eitelrock playing in her first season for the All-Stars. Previously played for the City of London Academy Southwark Pride. Doesn't get the first to go. She's been averaging 3.6 assists a game. Good for 8th in D1 this season as she gets the second, and it's a 5-point All-Stars lead. Perdomo to Chinamasa. Over to Spence. Spence working against Goldsby. Spence off the screen from Idowu. Shot bounces off the rim. And London back down the floor. Eitelrock works her way inside, and a strong finish at the basket for Eitelrock.
Yeah, what a move that is. Just pure like strength, power, just muscling her way to the basket there.
Mystics looking to respond here. Chinamasa into Idowu. Idowu against Eitelrock, stops, puts it up, it's short. Great defense there from Eitelrock. And a carry called against London as we have a substitution. Faith Lord checks into the game for Manchester, and Georgia Perdomo will go to the bench.
Apologies for the really, really messed up scoreboard at home.
Spence sidesteps for 3, not that time. As Goldsby takes it back down the floor, Hunt's running. Good defense there from Spence to knock it out of bounds, stop the fast break.
Yeah, just forcing the London All-Stars to kind of reset their offense, allowing the rest of the team to get back and set up on their defense.
We know that the Mystics are a team that like to run the floor. They like to get out into transition on that fast break. And that's something the All-Stars have had a couple of looks at so far, as Merhelina's shot doesn't drop. And a foul on the floor. Ball's with the Mystics. So first team foul on the All-Stars. Both teams just on 1 team foul at the moment. As Odin Wingy has Spence. Chinamasa looking to go inside, and that's something London are doing really well, blocking off that path to the basket as Idowu from the elbow.
Yeah, that's a good look for Remy Idowu, that just kind of that elbow area, top of the key. Good that she's got off the mark.
And a much-needed basket there for Manchester maybe to stop that run from the All-Stars.
Yeah, definitely, and just kind of to give them some kind of like confidence back, because as you said, I mean, 11 points from the London All-Stars already, just to kind of give them that kind of energy that they are scoring. There is something in there for them.
So Helena looks to get the ball in. Goldsby's there. Oyeyemi spinning against Idowu. Oyeyemi needs some help. Goldsby's there. Doesn't drop, but another chance on offense here for the All-Stars. Eitelrock going to the basket. And Odemwingie fighting for the rebound. Eitelrock draws the foul. And how hard is Summer Eitelrock working under the basket, Isha?
Yeah, I mean, really hard. Just to get those rebounds. I mean, just then when she took that shot, they had 3 people on her. I mean, that's just what it takes to kind of stop her. Just because every time she's gone to the basket so far, I mean, we're only 5 minutes in, but she's just going through with such strength. It's really using her body and using her power to get through to the basket.
As the first free throw doesn't go, 3 points, 2 rebounds so far for Summer Eitelrock. As we'll have a substitution for the All-Stars, as we see Bex Morrison get ready to check in. And second one to come here for Eitelrock. It's a 5-point All-Stars lead, make it 6. And Morrison will come into the game, and Carlotta Temerhelina takes a seat. So 6-point All-Stars lead here in the first quarter. Odemwingie. Odemwingie on the baseline, too strong. Goldsby will pick up a second rebound. Kat Goldsby with 4 assists so far in just 4 minutes of play.
Yeah, it really just goes to show how much of a playmaker that she is.
And Oyeyemi banks in 2 more for the All-Stars.
Yeah, I mean, the All-Stars are really getting it done inside at the moment. I mean, not even just one player. All of them just trying to get into the key, trying to get their way to the basket. When they're going up strong.
And it's that points in the paint, isn't it? That straight underneath the basket that they're going to as Hunt. One step too many, and Manchester will have it back. And this is a really interesting dynamic between these 2 teams, Isha. So we've got a really majority of the players for the All-Stars very experienced. Have had a lot of experience playing in Division 1, even playing in WBBL and across the leagues, whereas it's a younger Mystics team. So it's that interesting matchup.
Yeah, it is, because I mean, game experience is one thing that you just can't learn. You just have to kind of
Oh, what a pass from Odemwingie as Chinamasa takes it to the basket.
Yeah, great offense there from the Mystics. Hopefully that can give them some momentum. But yeah, as you were saying, just having that experience, I mean, you can't really teach experience. You can't learn it. You only get it kind of by actually playing in the games. Wait, sorry, apologies at home. The scoreboard is being amended right now.
As Hernandez intercepts the ball, and a foul call goes against the All-Stars.
Oh, yeah.
We're using a very compressed scoreboard that's very hard to read on your phone. We will have this corrected in a couple of weeks' time when we have a bigger one.
Oh, wait, the All-Stars are on, I don't know why I put there on 18. Let me correct
The score is 14 to the London All-Stars, 8 to the Mystics. And Hernandez's first free throw will spin out. And Alex Hernandez, that huge game against Anglia Ruskin last weekend, 21 points and 9 rebounds off the bench. Someone that's known as a really strong defender for the Mystics, but can score when she needs to as she hits the second free throw. And it's down to a 5-point game. Lord comes up with a steal, and Manchester with a chance to cut this to a single possession game here. As it will go out of bounds and London will get it back.
Yeah, I mean, it was the right idea, just couldn't get on, just couldn't give the right execution there.
Letitia Willis into the game for the Mystics as Eitelrock finds Goldsby. Goldsby stops, spins, it's short as Spence pushes the ball up the floor for Manchester. Spence over to Lord. Chinamasa from deep. Not that time, but Willis is there cleaning up the glass and puts the ball back in the basket. And we'll have a timeout called. So 14-11, the London All-Stars lead over the Mystics. Just under 4 minutes to play, and the Mystics have cut this down to a single possession game. But you can see, Isha, the shots that the Mystics are taking, perhaps at that last one where Willis drives in for the rebound, they're finding it really difficult to maybe get to the basket because the All-Stars are sort of building a wall. Yeah, they are, and just because like there is a slight, as many teams there are when they play the Mystics, but the All-Stars do have a height advantage over the Mystics as well, which always does like come into play. So yeah, the Mystics are trying to drive, trying to get that ball up, but I say there's the defensive presence inside from the All-Stars is just too much at the moment. But they've still been able to find the bottom of the net. They have gotten, I mean, we just saw Willis then come in for the rebound, just a nice easy finish. Probably a much needed timeout for the All-Stars just to kind of settle them back in, because they were up by what, 8 points at one point? Yeah, 8 points. So I mean, 8 gone down to 3. It is only the first quarter, but I say that Ruth Ito just want to get the team back into that flow, just try and regain that lead, because it'll be good to have a lead going, especially going into the second quarter, just going into that break. Away from home as well. I mean, as we say all the time, it's a long journey. Trip. I mean, the Mystics are used to it going every weekend to London, but other teams have to come all the way up here. Definitely does play a toll, take a toll on anybody. And the All-Stars coming off a loss to Ipswich last weekend, so they'll certainly be looking to bounce back from that. As we said earlier, their 2-5 record really doesn't reflect what this team is about. Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the roster and go down, you can see there's just so many players with such large amounts of experience. And players that they have on the team that maybe aren't here today. So Bennett Ozzy-Momadou, absolutely fantastic player, as a offensive foul's called on the inbound. So Manchester will get the ball back here and a chance to tie on this possession. So Chloe Andrew gets it into Spence. Willis. Double teamed, kicks it out. Hernandez thought about it. Hernandez will take it and scoops it in. Yeah, I mean, just as we were saying, they were struggling to get to the basket. Alexander's just really using her stride and getting to the basket. As Andrew picks up the rebound. Spence looks to go all the way, and it's too strong as Degner has it for the All-Stars. 1 point game. Degner. Goldsby working against Hernandez. Too much on it. The ball's tipped, and Goldsby comes up with it for the All-Stars. She's fouled. Yeah, I mean, the Mystics are going to have to start boxing out Ito Rock, because every time there's a ball coming off that rim, she's the first one who's got hands there. I mean, we saw Willis there kind of get it, didn't box her out. All she had to do was tip it away. Now All-Stars still have the ball, so. Degner into Goldsby. Ito Rock against Willis. Time running down. Shot in the corner, spins out for Degner. But another chance here for the All-Stars, and they're making the most of those offensive rebounds. Yeah, I mean, that's why you've got to box out. Just every time you let them get a rebound, it's just another opportunity to score, and they are capitalizing off those offensive rebounds. 3-point lead. Hernandez hands off to Lord, and Lord all the way to the basket unopposed, and a miscommunication there on defense. Yeah, big miscommunication. I mean, yeah, it's just one, but they won't want to let another one of those ones get through. Ito Rock looks to find a way to the basket, and does. Yeah, I mean, Ito Rock at the moment just cannot be stopped. Every time she drives the basket, she's just able to get there right underneath that rim. Just easy finish. 6 points, 4 rebounds for Summer Ito Rock. As Willis swings it to the corner, but it's intercepted by Oyeyemi. as Morrison picks it up. Degner to Goldsby. Goldsby, three's up, not that time. And again, another offensive rebound for the All-Stars. They're just crashing the glass as Oyeyemi's shot doesn't go.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably one of the first times they've not been able to get another score off those offensive rebounds. But again, Mystics not boxing out, not getting those defensive boards, and it's just going to lead to more and more scores.
As Spence steps through, hangs in the air, can't get the roll. And there's been a couple of those where it's been really unfortunate for the Mystics for the shot not to drop.
Yeah, I mean, they are starting to find more and more shots now, but they are starting to find more and more shots, but again, it's just annoying. I mean, they will start to drop eventually, but at least they are finding the bottom of the net now.
They're getting those looks, as we see Yuri Yamaguchi
I mean, yeah, getting the looks, apologies.
into the game for the first time. Degner all the way! And again, two more for the All-Stars. Amy Degner gets herself on the scoreboard and leads up to 5 for London. Hernandez over to Perdomo. Odemwingie. And Goldsby will knock the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few times where the Mystics tried to make those long passes. We saw it before on like one of the previous sessions where Willis drove baseline, tried to kick it to the corner. But also, they just have their hands in every single passing lane at the moment. So making it really difficult for the Mystics to set anything up or even get a shot off.
There's Goldsby against Odemwingie. Oyeyemi kicks it out to the corner. Morrison splashes it in. And with 1 second to go at the end of the quarter, the All-Stars stretch the lead back up to 8 here to end things after the first.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they cannot miss out there at the moment. I mean, they've done such a good job getting to the basket. They've done such a good job at defense of being aggressive every time. For the timeout. Yeah, the All-Stars, I mean, they've come out really strong. We saw them kind of get a lead in that first. We saw again quite a large lead at the beginning of the first. Mystics, they did crawl their way back into the game, but just being unable to kind of keep it close because All-Stars, they've extended their lead out again to 8 points. I mean, they'll be pretty happy going into the second half now. Mystics maybe not as happy. Defensively, haven't been very strong. I mean, they would kind of let the All-Stars dictate what they and do whatever they want to do on offense, whereas the Mystics should be playing strong enough defense to force the All-Stars to shoot the shots that the Mystics want them to shoot. Again, offensively, I mean, we've seen them start to create more and more shots now, but they have been quite unlucky on a few, not able to find the bottom of the net. But again, the All-Stars make it really difficult for them to find anything out there at the moment.
So the London All-Stars with 18 points in the paint so far in the first quarter. So 18 of their 23 points have come underneath the basket. A team that averaged 28.6 points in the paint per game. So that's, 10 points off their average after the first quarter. That's pretty impressive.
I mean, it really is. But it's just, yes, the Mystics defense has been great, but it's just testament to the players on the London All-Stars who are just able to find the net every time. But just because of how strong they're driving to the basket, they're not being soft. They don't really care if there's like a few hands in the way, a few bodies in the way. They really are just taking their time, muscling down, just finding their way there. So.
And the All-Stars have been led by 6 points each from Summer Eitelrock and Jess Hunt. Summer Eitelrock with 4 rebounds as well, and Kat Goldsby adding in 3 rebounds and 4 assists. 7 offensive rebounds for the All-Stars compared to 2 for the Mystics. So back on court for the second quarter. And it's Manchester possession as they look to cut into this deficit. And ball's knocked away. Degner got a hand on it. It'll stay with Manchester. Amy Degner also playing for the D2 All-Stars this season. As Odemwingie into Spence. Spence catch and shoot. Three's in! And a big basket there for Spence.
Yeah, she'll feel good getting off the mark there.
As Odemwingie comes up with the steal, going one-on-one against Goldsby, and ball's out of bounds, but that's great defense there from Kat Goldsby, knocking the ball away, so Manchester still get the ball, but obviously stops the break.
Yeah, and just force them to kind of reset, just make their own offense, but also allows the rest of the London players just to catch up and be ready to play defense.
As Manchester will take it again from the end line. Odemwingie into Spence. Swings it round to Willis. Chinamasa pulls up, doesn't drop, but Odemwingie fighting for the rebound, jumping out of the gym to get that as Perdomo, her shot will bounce out, but that's a great offensive rebound there for Manchester and a good look for Perdomo.
Yeah, it is. I mean, just good that they're kind of showing signs of being more aggressive on those offensive boards now. And yeah, Perdomo, we know she can shoot that shot.
What a shot from Degner. Sorry, Isha. Amy Degner falling out of bounds, gets the basket to go.
Yeah, and like that's when we say it just feels like the All-Stars can't miss the moment. That just says it all. I mean, what a shot that was. Fading away from the basket, just able to get it to sing.
And Spence can't answer. And the All-Stars have a 7-point lead. And Perdomo will be called for the foul. That's the first team foul on the Mystics. So the All-Stars take it from the end line. Degner into Goldsby. And Morrison under the basket. That was a tough shot.
Yeah, but it's yet another look inside for the All-Stars.
We haven't got the breakdown of how many shots at the basket they've had, like within the charge area.
Bieber,
no charge area.
Bieber, get it on your live stats. Although, to be fair, we could look at the shot chart at half time.
Which we'll do that when there's a timeout.
Yeah, when we've actually got time. Yeah.
As Eitelrock gets it into Goldsby. Oyeyemi back to Goldsby. Oyeyemi going against Willis, working on the baseline. As Goldsby saves the pass, runs into Odemwingie, and Oyeyemi from the corner. I think Willis got a hand on that. And ball will come off the Mystics, and the defense there from Degner just standing her ground. And this is where you really see that experience of some of these All-Stars players come into play.
Yeah, it is. I mean, because it was, as a defender, it's so tempting to kind of just reach in just whilst you're right in front of them. But yeah, Chinamasa bringing it up, Degner just standing her ground basically, just forcing the turnover. So
as Hernandez does the same at the other end, so Manchester will get the ball back. It's a 7-point All-Stars lead. And Chinamasa to Hernandez. Over to Spence. Spence to Chinamasa. Against Degner. Chinamasa on the baseline, swings it round to Hernandez. Manchester need to put something up here, and Hernandez does at the buzzer. But Oyeyemi with a big rebound, that's her 5th. As the All-Stars get it over the halfway line. Eitelrock against Perdomo. Oh, what a pass on the baseline to Goldsby, can't finish. As Spence grabs the rebound.
But yeah, I mean, that's just the looks that the All-Stars have been getting in the passes that they've been making all game. Just really is a team that's on the same page. They're just making the correct passes. They're making some great cuts. And again, another look inside.
And for a team that played this is their 8th game they're playing together for some players. For Kat Goldsby coming into the team new, the connection that they have already, that you can see out there, it's been fantastic so far.
Yeah, it has, and it's like the score kind of says it all. I mean, 25 points already. They're chasing, they're really close to beating their average points in the paint. It just goes to show.
Hernandez for Manchester, scoop shot doesn't drop. Willis dives in for the rebound, and a jump ball's called. But you can see there both teams hustling, just chasing after the ball. And we'll have a substitution as Jess Hunt back into the game for the All-Stars. Izzy Oyeyemi goes to the bench, and Oyeyemi 4 points, 5 rebounds so far.
Yeah, what a performance she's had so far. It's been really strong inside presence.
Goldsby gets the handoff. And fouls called against Manchester, second team foul. Fouls on the floor, so the All-Stars take it from the sideline. And Goldsby will inbound here. Degner. Eitel-Rock against Willis. Eitel-Rock double team comes, and jump ball gives Manchester possession back, and you can see there, so Manchester going straight to the double team. As soon as Eitel-Rock gets the ball, they've got someone on her, 2 players on her.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what's gonna be needed when Eitel-Rock has that ball, especially inside, because she's just been able to get so many looks at the basket so close, and you don't really want to be giving those away, because I mean, she's not missed that many. I mean, well, next time out we'll look at her shooting percentage, but been a really dominant performance from her so far.
Hernandez knocks the ball loose. Can't quite save it in between the lines, but again, stops the break there for the All-Stars.
But yeah, I mean, Eitel-Rock, 66% from the field at the moment, so just go show the looks that she's getting, they're not ones that she's going to miss.
Exactly, and that's why Manchester are certainly going to send that double team. So Goldsby against Hernandez. Eitel-Rock, and fouls called. That'll go against Hernandez, and that will be Hernandez's 3rd foul and the 3rd team foul on the Mystics. So Hernandez will go to the bench, and that's might put the Mystics in a little bit of difficulty with Alex Hernandez being such a strong defender. And when you are such a strong defender like that, you are going to pick up some of those fouls.
Yeah, I mean, that one was maybe a bit of like a foul that you didn't really need to give away, because I mean, yes, there's pressure, and then there's like too much pressure. So sometimes you just got to be, especially against a team like this who are aggressive with the ball and kind of who can draw fouls. They kind of just know how to get those fouls, draw them, as we say, their experience. So kind of need to think about when they're reaching in. Is it the right time to reaching in? Is it better to just pressure them? I mean, we saw before, was it Degner who just stood in the way instead of drawing the foul?
Yeah. And that will now be the 5th foul on the Mystics, and with just over 5.5 minutes to go in the second half, that's going to give the All-Stars certainly a chance to take advantage of that and get themselves to the foul line.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, far from Willis there, as a shooting foul especially, I mean, you don't want to just take someone out, but again, you don't want them to actually score. You don't want it to be a soft foul where you just give them a tap and they still make the basket. So it wasn't an awful foul, but
Eitel-Rock doesn't get the first to go. So the All-Stars, having been promoted from Division 2 last season, they won the D2 playoff final against the Milton Keynes Breakers last year, 75-69. And head coach Ruth Eitel was named last season's Division 2 Pool 2 Coach of the Year. As loose ball is picked up by Palacios. As Elena Palacios comes into the game for the first time for the All-Stars. Goldsby. And Degner's shot doesn't drop. Andrew has it. Spence. Andrew going inside, finds Idowu. Idowu meets Eitelrock in the air, and he's fouled on the shot. So Remy Idowu will go to the line here. A chance to cut into this lead for Manchester.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that Idowu and Willis are at the same time. Two kind of players that play that inside position, but as we've seen with this All-Star team, they like to play inside. They like to have inside presence is on offense. So it'll be interesting to see how these two play together, because I don't think we've seen them play that much together this season, because usually they kind of sub in for each other as playing that inside player. So, and
also with no Nat Furtado available today for the Mystics, that might be why we see a little bit of them more on the floor together.
Yeah, definitely, and especially like, yeah, it's kind of like Faith Lords kind of plays a little bit more out that outside role now as well. So
Idowu cuts the lead down to 6. As Degner over to Palacios. Hunt. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Hunt puts it up. Doesn't go.
Yeah, good stance from Odemwingie there just to force that.
And Odemwingie at the other end cuts it down to a 4-point game. And the Mystics get it back as Spence's shot doesn't drop, but ball's out of bounds and last touch All-Stars. So success, Odemwingie just doing it on both ends of the floor here. You can see the pressure she's putting on and how high she jumps to get those rebounds.
Yeah, she's just such an athletic player, just really has such a big impact on the game. But I feel like at the moment it doesn't feel like the game is as close as it is. It does feel like the All-Stars have dominated a lot more than they actually have. I think it's just on the court they have physically dominated, especially getting inside, even defensively. But it's only a 4-point game, 2 possessions. 3 possessions if you get a 3-pointer and an one. I mean 1 possession, apologies.
As Spence going inside. Oyeyemi with a great stop there. I've not seen that before.
Does that count as a steal?
It does. Let's give her it. As it's intercepted back by Willis, and Odemwingie blocked by Demir Helena. And a bit of a messy few possessions here for both teams. And a relatively low-scoring quarter, so just 6-2. Manchester leading the way this quarter.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have kind of stepped it up a little bit more defensively, but to be fair, I don't think, no respect to the teams on the court, but I don't think the defense has been as intense as it has been in that first half. There's just been a lot more misses, really. Just the pressure of the game, probably, because I don't think there's been a considerably amount of like changing the intensity of the defense out there.
As Spence's shot doesn't go, Oyeyemi grabs the 7th rebound of the game. Demir Helena. Out to Oyeyemi, lines up a 3, sinks it! And Izzy Oyeyemi, she can score inside, she can score outside, doesn't matter where she is.
I know, it makes it such a good, such a hard player to defend as well, because you gotta get your hand up when you get out, but you also don't want to let her blow by you and just dominate inside.
Exactly. As Manchester look to answer here, Andrew using the screen from Idowu. Andrew going to the basket, draws the foul. So that's 2 shots to come here for the Mystics. As Yuri Yamaguchi checks in and Summer Eitelrock heads to the bench for the All-Stars.
Yeah, I mean, the Mystics do a lot better job this quarter of drawing fouls. They are getting to the basket, and when they have gone in hard and they've gone up, instead of kind of shy away from the defense, that's when they have been able to draw the fouls.
So Chloe Andrew at the line, 7.2 points per game, 2.6 rebounds so far this season for the Mystics. Had a huge 33 points against Cardiff in the National Cup, where she hit 6 3-pointers. And second one drops out. Still a 7-point game. Yamaguchi. Oyeyemi, hands off to Goldsby. Goldsby from the foul line. Doesn't go, but Oyeyemi's there to clean up the glass and put it back in the basket.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times you can keep saying it, but the Mystics just need to box out. Because OEME, if not OEME, then Ito Rock, either anyone, to be fair, is just going to go in and get those offensive rebounds. Everyone is crushing the offensive boards.
9-point game. Odin Wingy. Idowu runs into traffic and travel called, and you can see it's that stance there inside. OEME starting the defense, just standing in the way.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you need to do, just be in the way.
Yamaguchi going to set things up here for London against Chinamasa. To Merhelina, hook shot! And when shots like that are going, can take London to an 11-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, the Cavs apologies, the All-Stars have made some really impressive baskets today. A lot of them for the highlight reel.
Definitely. Chinamasa to Idowu. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Need to get something up here. 1 second. Chinamasa at the buzzer. Doesn't go, but a huge rebound there from Willis. And Chinamasa will finish.
And there you go. I mean, as long as you crash those offensive boards, it just gives yourselves another chance to get those scores. We've seen the All-Stars do it all game, so good signs from the Mystics there.
And Odin Wingy going for the ball, last touch with the All-Stars. That was Willis there. Letitia Willis just getting her hands in the way, was able to read that pass and knock the ball away. Final minute of the first half. Idowu looking to pass out of it. Andrew. Time running down, and the Mystics won't get a shot off in time, as the All-Stars will take it from the sideline, and it's that pressure from the All-Stars defensively, forcing Manchester into a difficult shot.
Yeah, like, as you say, just the defensive intensity. The Mystics, you could see they were trying to set something up there. Kind of maybe took a little bit too long, but yeah, the All-Stars kind of just forcing them to do what the All-Stars want the Mystics to do. They're making them, stopping them from making them set up their play, basically. Like.
Goldsby to Merhelina on the baseline, too strong, but Morrison gets the rebound. Oyeyemi out to Morrison. Ball's out of bounds. All-Stars ball, 7 seconds on the clock.
I mean, one thing that we have seen the All-Stars do this game is the ball movement's been really good. They really just zip the ball around. Like it's like they know where their teammates are already going to be, because they don't take their time to even basically look for a pass. They already know, and next thing you know, you blink and the pass has been made. Like.
So 10 seconds in the quarter. Manchester can hold for the last shot here. 6 seconds. Chinamasa has it. Chinamasa looks to create some space, going to take it all the way. Ball's out of bounds with 0.2 seconds on the clock, so it's got to be a lob or a tip in here, really.
Yeah, 0.2 seconds. I don't really think that's enough time for a shot, is it, really? Someone's going to have to tip it up.
Odin Wingy, Willis, and that'll be after the clock. So at half-time, it's a 32-23 lead for the London All-Stars over the Manchester Mystics. The All-Stars having been led so far by Izzy Oyeyemi with 9 points and 9 rebounds, looking at a double-double here at half-time, but 3 of those 9 rebounds, offensive rebounds, and we've just said it throughout the first half, Isha, but that's been so crucial for the All-Stars lead.
It really has. I mean, they've had 5 second chance points. It feels like they've had a lot more second chance points, but I'd be interested to see what actually defines second chance point. Like, is that when they've caught it and gone straight back up? Because there's been plenty of times where they've got the offensive rebound, passed it, zipped it around a little bit, then got the shot off. It does feel like they've had more than 5 second chance points, but whether or not they have second chance or not, they have just absolutely dominated in that paint. I mean, they've got 32 points, 24 of those have been inside the paint, and what do you say, their average is 28 points inside the paint, so they're 4 points away from that going into the second half. And I find it really difficult to believe that they're only going to score 4 points in that key in this second half now, so just really impressive display from them. It does make you question, like, why haven't they won that many games? But this D1 league, I mean, anyone can beat anyone, really. It would just obviously so many factors come into play. I mean, sometimes it's your day, sometimes it's not. But the performance that we've seen from them today, it's been really impressive.
And this is why their record really does not reflect who they are as a team. Obviously, retaining essentially the core of the team that won the D2 playoff final last year, adding in players like Kat Goldsby that they have to the squad, and being coached by Ruth Eitel, just an absolutely fantastic coach in her own right. And they are very experienced, and sometimes it's just a case of, as well, you just need a few of those games to kind of gel and stick it together.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we 7-8 games in now.
Yeah.
And we can definitely see they have gelled. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't seen any of their previous games, so I don't know how they have played, say, first or second game, but the ball movement has been really impressive. They've gotten looks off drives and shots, but they've really just zipped that ball around. I wouldn't even call them passes, because they're just, especially, I mean, Cat Goals we've seen a few times, literally they're just quick passes.
It's so fast.
It is so
it's
fast.
just like a volleyball tap, isn't it? Just
it really is. It's just it's great to watch, really.
It is. It's very fun basketball to watch. And Ruth Eitel as well, doing an absolutely fantastic job with the London All-Stars. So she was named the D2 Pool 2 Coach of the Year last season, but she does so much away from the game outside of Division 1, Division 2. So she founded the All-Stars in 2020 with a mission to create pathways for female players and coaches and volunteers. Has a junior program in partnership with the London Legends. So she's just built this pathway for girls and women to compete in basketball. And Kat Goldsby as well, very heavily involved in the coaching side, coaching men's local league this season, coaching the under 14s and 16s. And it's a really great program, and having something like that, building foundations for young girls to be involved in sport and involved in basketball, and whether they necessarily want to play at the highest level or just play for fun, like, that's so important, isn't it? Yeah,
it really is, because I mean, there's plenty of things for girls that kind of like, especially as you get older, there's stuff for elite players, but people who just kind of, as I said, want to play for fun. They want to play competitive, but not necessarily at the complete highest level. It's really important to kind of get those things and make sure they're available, because they're not readily available for everyone. So just having that, the thing that she's set up, the setup that she's got here, it's really admirable.
It's great, and for young girls as well to turn up to a session. Kat Goldsby's coaching, she's just like hanging in the air, dropping in floaters. Like, that's going to be really fun for kids to watch and learn from. And let's just take a look at Manchester before we have a quick break for half time. But they've been led so far by Ravimbo Chinamasa, 6 points, a rebound and an assist. Kizzy Spence on 5 points, but nobody for the Mystics there on more than 6 in the first half.
Yeah, but there hasn't been anyone leading the way, but their points distribution is pretty good. I mean, they've got Chinamasa on 6, Spence on 5, but then they've got 3 players on 2 points, 2 players on 3 points. There's really only 3 players that haven't contributed to the scoring. But I mean, you don't need to contribute to scoring to contribute to the game. But it just goes to show that whilst we have seen some players go off in some games and score quite a large volume of the points, really anyone can score, anyone is a threat. They have struggled to get to the basket, but it is a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing that the point distribution is what it is, because if you look at the All-Stars, their point distribution is good as well, but not as much as the Mystics.
So that's the positive for the Mystics, isn't it? Quite a low scoring first half for them with 23 points by their standards, but the positive is they are sharing the ball around and people are getting involved.
Yeah, exactly, and just that's what you want to see. As much as we've gone on about the All-Stars ball movement stuff, the Mystics have had some good ball movement. Just, I wouldn't describe it as zipping. I'm just really impressed with the All-Stars ball movement, to be fair. But no, there still has been some really good looks, some good passes, some good offenses. Hopefully, as we get into this second half now, they can just slowly chip away at that lead and hopefully start to find the bottom of the net.
Well, let's see what the second half brings. So, Manisha, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with you in around 8 minutes' time. Welcome back to the Manchester Basketball Centre in Whalley Range as we get ready for the second half between the Manchester Mystics and the London All-Stars. A low-scoring game so far at the moment as we head into the third quarter, but a 32-23 lead for the London All-Stars as we get ready for the third quarter. And Isha, we've spoken about it a lot in the first half, but the experience of this All-Stars team against a slightly younger Mystics team, but the All-Stars have really been able to do what they want in the paint. So it's going to be interesting to see if Manchester can counter that in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, the All-Stars definitely in the position that they would like, a comfortable position they'll happily be in coming in second half. The Mystics, not a great position for them, obviously. I just realised the score's actually a palindrome. Not that it's any relevance to anything, but
it is 23-32. As the time runs down, Merhelina has to put something up at the buzzer, and Odemwingie picks it up. Manchester looking to chip into this lead.
Yeah, I mean, positive signs from Manchester straight out of that half.
Yeah, getting a stop on the first possession, and then important for them to be able to capitalise once they do get a stop.
Yeah, let's see if they can get something off this.
As Spence out to Perdomo. Perdomo, too much space there for Perdomo. Can't get it to go that time, but we know she's a lights-out shooter from behind the three-point line. Yeah,
that's a good shot for the Mystics. Definitely a good look for her.
As Goldsby dancing inside, leaves it short. And Spence picks it up. Perdomo out to Chinamasa. Chinamasa against Oyeyemi. That's a tough move by Chinamasa.
Yeah, but a good read from her just to kind of read that mismatch. I mean, she had like a inside player on her. That's the time where you do want to attack the basket, and yeah, she was faster, able to get there.
Has a really quick step, does Chinamasa. So, like you say, if she can take advantage of that, it's going to be very beneficial for the Mystics. To Merhelina. Eitel-Rock. 1 second on the clock, and time will run down, and that's 2 24-second shot clock violations the Mystics have forced coming out of that halftime break.
Yeah, definitely they'll be happy with the start that they've had so far. I mean, we're only 1 minute, 23 seconds, 40, I don't know, 1 minute something seconds in. So, I mean, it's too soon to say, but really positive signs. 2 consecutive 24-second violations, or almost 24-second violations.
Spence on the baseline, back to Perdomo. Hunt knocks the ball away.
But as we've said in previous games, it's about getting those scores off the...
And a great save there from Odemwingie, diving out of bounds and throws the ball off the All-Stars.
Yeah, great play from her. Stick on the highlights.
I think we could have a really good highlight tape of Success Odemwingie diving out of bounds, saving a ball. Like, there's loads of clips of that.
Yeah, there really is. I mean, and most of the time she's successful as well, which makes it even better.
So, Manchester possession down 7.
But yeah, we spoke in other games. It's all well and good Manchester getting the stops, but if we can't capitalise on the other end, that's when it's kind of pointless getting the stops, really. And you are pointless after getting the stop.
So an offensive foul out on the Mystics gives London the ball back. To Merhelina. To Goldsby. Has Spence on her. And foul's called on the floor. That's against the Mystics. So second team foul on the Mystics.
Yeah, Kat Goldsby, again, another player with a really quick step. Averaging 17.6 points per game this season, 8th in the league.
She's, for any team she plays for, Goldsby is just an out-and-out scorer. As Hunt working under the basket, banks in 2.
Yeah, and also just keep getting those inside looks. But yeah, Goldsby, not only can she get it done at the rim, also really good playmaker. I mean, 4 assists so far today.
As Perdomo's fouled at the other end, so Georgia Perdomo will go to the line for Manchester. And Perdomo with 11.3 points per game, 2.4 rebounds for the Mystics so far this season. Also playing her basketball for MMU. as she gets the second to go, and that's Perdomo's first points of the game. Cuts it down to 8. Goldsby directing traffic. Hunt almost triple teamed, kicks it down. Oyeyemi doesn't get it to drop. And last touch will be Manchester, so it'll be All-Stars ball here from the end line.
Yeah, well, I mean, that triple team probably was supposed to be a double team, but yeah, that's kind of the defense and how much they're going to have to pack the key, because they've had the All-Stars get so many looks at their basket inside of that key, literally inside that charge circle area. So they don't start putting on that pressure, they're not going to kind of be able to catch up with that scoring rate.
Mr. Molina picks up the loose ball. Goldsby for 3. Won't go, and it'll be Manchester ball.
But yeah, they've done a much better job defensively at the start of this second half. That's kind of like 3 24-second violations / almost 24-second violations so far, so much better defensively.
Let's see if they can capitalise on this possession. Can't get it to go, but Odemwingie fighting for the rebound against Oyeyemi. Fouls called.
Yeah, and that's
was a little bit behind the back.
It was. I mean, that's her third now, but I guess when you are that springy, I mean, that one obviously wasn't intentional. Just she came down with the ball and just ended up in that position, but unlucky one there.
So Hernandez and Odemwingie both on 3 personal fouls for the Mystics. Probably 2 of the strongest defenders out there for the Mystics. So going to have to be a little bit careful here for the last quarter and a half, really.
Yeah, because I mean, I'd say 2 of the probably better defenders. It's going to be difficult without them, but sometimes they just, I don't know, the discipline isn't as strong as normal. They just reach that little extra couple of centimetres that's kind of forced them to do that. But as we said, I mean, this All-Star side is so experienced. They've probably gotten themselves in the correct positions to be able to draw them fouls and to force them to foul, really.
As Idowu off the glass, doesn't get the roll. Eitelrock with rebound number 6.
Yeah, but that is a good look for Idowu. We know she's a strong presence in the paint as well.
And that's why Eitelrock is making it so difficult inside, because she's standing her ground there, forcing you to have to go around her and just disrupting the shot.
Yeah, just making herself a presence, which, as we say so many times, just being a presence is what is needed sometimes.
As the shot doesn't go, and we've just got a stop on the floor, as it looks like Spence might have just got caught. So she'll get checked out. And it's an 8-point lead here in the third quarter. And again, much like we saw it as the first half of the second quarter, it's been a relatively slow start. So 3-2 Manchester lead this quarter.
Yeah, and it just goes to show, I mean, their defense has been much better. They've kind of forced the Cavs the All-Stars to use the whole 24 seconds. But that kind of does work in the All-Stars' favour.
As Chinamasa lays in 2 for Manchester.
Yeah, because the All-Stars, they are in the lead. Well, only 6 points now, but prior to that, it was a little bit wider. They can afford to kind of run the clock down and to use that time to set up an offense.
Hunt looking for some help. Finds Oyeyemi, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Double team comes to Oyeyemi, out to Eitelrock from the foul line, but Hunt's there, rebounds and puts the ball in the net.
Yeah, I mean, all that hard work, forcing them 24 seconds and just letting them get an easy one, that's got to hurt.
And Jess Hunt up to 8 points personal. 10 after that basket, so Hunt into double figures for the All-Stars. As Spence round the screen from Idowu. Lord. Chinamasa, 5 seconds. 3 seconds. Baseline pass to Perdomo. Can't get the reverse to go, but that was a good look there for Manchester. As a foul will be called.
Yeah, unlucky one there. Just Faith Lord just bringing that hustle, trying to dive on the ball. Unfortunate to just kind of catch on the All-Stars players. But, I mean, All-Stars did a good job to force the Mystics there. Almost 21st-second violation, but that was a good look at the basket. I mean, great cut from Perdomo there, just on that baseline. Nice pass from Chinamasa. Unlucky to not be able to get it to go.
So an 8-point All-Stars lead. And Goldsby just got caught on that possession. So 36-28, the All-Stars lead. Looking to bounce back from a loss against Ipswich last weekend. Manchester coming off a win against Anglia Ruskin last weekend as well. So Chloe Andrew will come into the game and Remi Aidowu goes to the bench. Goldsby gets it into Hunt. Hunt, having previously played for the Sevenoaks Suns and Essex Rebels in the WBBL, is Eitelrock, count it, and the foul. And Summer Eitelrock with a huge game is going to go to the foul line here for a chance at a 3-point play.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to bring up the energy on the team, but Eitelrock, what a performance she's had so far today. Just been such a strong presence inside. Now up to 8 points in the game. Couldn't get the free throw to go, which is unfortunate. But again, I mean, and one opportunity like that, getting that score with the foul, just bringing that energy.
And Hunt on the baseline, can't get it to go. As Goldsby comes up with a steal. Setting things up here for the All-Stars. Ball's tipped into the hands of Hunt. Hunt, the Merhelina, and Hernandez has it. Alex Hernandez there putting the pressure on, comes up with a steal for Manchester. It's a 10-point game. A 6-5 All-Stars run so far this quarter. Chinamasa finds a path to the basket, too strong off the glass. And Goldsby going back down the floor, hangs in the air, draws the foul. And Kat Goldsby going to the foul line here for the All-Stars. Kat Goldsby's hang time is one of my favourite things to watch. It's dead fun.
Yeah, she really just gets up there, I don't know.
Waits around a little bit.
Yeah, checks her watch.
What am I going to do for tea later?
Yeah,
and then, I'll put the ball in the basket.
Literally.
Or I'll shoot it.
Really just takes her time.
So a timeout called. Just over 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. So it will be free throws for Goldsby when we come back. But again, this has really just mirrored what we saw in the second quarter. So after a high-scoring 23-point first quarter for the All-Stars, it was a 9-8 run for them in the second and 6-5 so far in the third.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Mystics, compared to that first quarter, they have stepped up their defense. We can tell, I think, second quarter, I don't think their defense was that, like, stepped up in terms of intensity. I just think, I don't know, made the pressure of the game survive. Obviously, don't get me wrong, they did do a little bit of a better job, but it wasn't like that shocking that we're going to be like, wow, they did amazing. This third quarter, however, came out really strong. They forced a lot of 24-second violations, if not 24, almost 24-second violations in this second half so far, which is positive signs. But as you say, I mean, that first quarter is just giving the All-Stars that upper hand. So even though they only won the second quarter by 1 point, even though they're only up by 1 point in this quarter, that kind of 10-point cushion, was it 10 points? Yeah, that 10-point cushion that they got from that first half, well, the 24-second violations actually do work in their favour because they are up. Like, yes, it's good defensively from the Mystics because they're forcing turn shots, but if this continues into, I don't know, say the fourth, towards the end of the fourth, in the context of the game currently, yes, in the third quarter, it doesn't matter that much, but it kind of does. They are. It's not necessarily a bad thing for them in this situation to use the whole clock because they are taking their time. If we look at how they were in the first quarter, they were, you know what I mean, they were getting the shots up quickly, they were finding looks quickly, but now they are slowing it down as a team anyway. They are zipping that ball around for just a little bit longer. They are holding on to it because, yeah, in the context of the game, do they need to rush shots? Not really, but nevertheless, it is good pressure from the Mystics.
So Goldsby at the line, doesn't get the first to go. Spent 5 seasons with the London and Thames Valley Cavaliers, winning the National Cup. Came out of Fairfield High School in Alabama, the same high school as Dewana Bonner.
Oh, wow.
That's a fun fact.
That is very fun fact.
And Goldsby will get herself on the scoreboard, and it's an 11-point lead. Odom Wingy to Andrew. Andrew against Hunt, blocked by Hunt. And foul against the Mystics, so that's going to put Goldsby back at the stripe for the All-Stars.
Yeah, I mean, team fouls with team fouls with 2 minutes to go. When down by 10, not a great position to be in, but that is the 4th foul on Willis now. Mystics do have a few players in foul trouble. I mean, Willis 4 fouls. We've got Hernandez 3 fouls. Ademwengi 3 fouls. Not a great position to be in, especially considering who those players are and for the context of this game. But they're just going to have to kind of learn to play with them, really, because they don't really have any other choice. But as Goldsby misses the first.
Goldsby with 4 assists, 4 rebounds, having drawn 6 fouls so far. And second's good, so that takes Goldsby to 2 points, but the impact that Kat Goldsby has, even when she's not scoring, so under her average today, but she still has a massive impact on the game.
Yeah, she does. I mean, she's currently on, 4 assists, but she's had a lot of passes that have led to assists. We've spoken about how the All-Stars have zipped that ball. I mean, look at her now, just bringing the ball up the floor.
And again, draws another foul.
Oh, I think that was defensive that time, to be fair. But the amount of times when she has...
That's on the Mystics.
Oh, never mind. He just weirdly gestured that. But I was going to say, yeah, just the amount of times where she's able to bring up the ball, just be under control, like withstand that pressure. The passes that have led to the assists, hands in the passing lane. Just one of those players who's just everywhere, can do a bit of everything.
Yeah. And that's the thing as well. And when you are a player that can do a bit of everything, and you make that impact off the ball as well. Like, your teammates see that, don't they? And then that really, you're leading and you're setting the tone there by your actions. Yeah,
exactly. And it also makes you a much more difficult player to defend. It also makes you a player where you might not have to, you don't have to score as much, and you're still going to have just as much an impact. Because, you know, some players, they score a lot, they put a lot of points on the board. If they're having an off game, then kind of their contribution to the team is kind of nullified. But player who can just do everything, you can have a bad game where, I'm not scoring as much, but it doesn't matter because I'm passing the ball around and making those assists. But yeah,
that's exactly the kind of player that you want on the team, isn't it? So the North Stars certainly were very happy that Goldsby signed with them this season. As Spence out to Andrew. Andrew thought about it, but Morrison got there. But Andrew will take it all the way to the basket.
Yeah, I mean, another player who can do a bit of everything. Tough defense. Chloe Andrew plays tough defense. She can hit from outside, but she can also make those tough shots inside with the defense.
Goldsby to Eitelrock. Back out to Goldsby. She'll set things up here for the All-Stars. Eitelrock with 1 second. Spence knocks the ball, and that's another 24-second violation. As Odemwingie takes it to the basket, draws the foul as well. Success, Odemwingie going to the foul line here for the Mystics.
Yeah, I mean, success, Odemwingie doing success, Odemwingie things. I mean, putting their pressure on defensively, just racing up the floor, able to finish through the contact, and gets the foul. I mean, if that isn't a way to bring up the energy on the team, especially coming into this 4th quarter now, I don't know what is.
And a chance to cut this to single digits here with this free throw. As she does. So it's a 9-point game.
Yeah, the Mystics want to be looking at keeping it within that single-digit lead now, especially going into this 4th quarter. We spoke about them just chipping away. They don't need to take the lead straight away, so need some good, strong defensive pressure.
As Hunt, what a perfect shot there, catch and shoot from the elbow.
Dare I say, commentator's curse.
And Jess Hunt, 12 points for the All-Stars. Again, that experience, having played in the WBBL, played at the top level in the country. Really showing out there on the floor.
Yeah, and Odemwingie again just springing off the floor there just to get that offensive rebound, draw the jump ball. Mystics will keep it.
Odemwingie into Spence. Spence driving baseline, swings it back round to Idowu. Idowu working against Goldsby, and another jump ball is called. And again, that's the impact of Kat Goldsby there. She's not coming up with a steal, but she's forcing the jump ball.
Exactly, and like even if it wasn't All-Stars possession now, it would just force the Mystics to reset their offense again, pass it in from the baseline. But it's not a bad thing for the Mystics to reset. It's a good thing for the All-Stars because they can also reset their defense.
Yeah, absolutely. As Lord picks off the pass, has Odemwingie race into the hoop, and Odemwingie back-to-back buckets. Again, leads back to 9 for the All-Stars. Eitelrock.
Yeah, great stance from those Mystics defenders there.
So we'll just have a stop on the floor.
How what do we have on the clock? Is it just 24 seconds?
24 seconds, yeah, in the quarter, as Odemwingie will set things up here now, so Manchester can hold for this last possession. Odemwingie against Oyeyemi, looking for the screen. Odemwingie out to Andrew. Andrew calling for it. 3 in and out. Unlucky for that not to drop as Idowu gets the whistle.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good look for Chloe Andrew. Really unfortunate to not get that roll in there, but Idowu just cleaning the glass, getting the shot back up and forcing the foul. But that's what we've seen the All-Stars do all game, just really attacking those offensive boards. So good to see the Mystics doing that. Obviously, we would have liked to see them doing that a little bit earlier in the game, but the most important thing is that they're doing that now, especially coming into this fourth quarter.
So Idowu hits the first, and it goes 2 of 2 from the line, 3.4 seconds. Degner, and All-Stars won't put anything up before the buzzer, so as we head into the fourth quarter, it's a 7-point lead for the All-Stars after a 14-12 run from the Mystics that quarter. And the All-Stars with a huge 30 points in the paint. They've been averaging 28 a game, as we've said. They've surpassed that here in the third quarter, and that's just been what has worked so well for them.
Yeah, it has, and they've just been able to find it consistently. The Mystics haven't been able to find a way to stop them, but it is so difficult to stop. They're just really, really strong inside presence. They're able to use that power. They've got that strength to be able to just keep finding them shots consistently, and it is difficult to stop. I mean, we have seen a lot of times where the Mystics have had good possessions, where they've just been able to stop them really well, hold good stances, but again, even sometimes when you're holding a good stance, it's just not enough to stop them. You just have to have that double team or that triple team.
So leading the way for the All-Stars, it is Jess Hunt with 12 points, shooting 66% from the field, 4 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block. That's a bit of everything. She's just ticking off all the categories there.
Yeah.
And also for the All-Stars, Izzy Oyeyemi, 9 points and 10 rebounds, has 3 steals. And Summer Eitelrock, 8 points, 7 rebounds. And for the Mystics, Ravimbo Chinamasa with 10 points, 2 rebounds. Success Odemwingie adding in 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. So teams coming back out onto the floor. But 1 more quarter to play. And Manchester will next be back in action next Saturday against the Bristol Flyers. They'll be heading away to Bristol. That's at 5 o'clock. And then they'll be home against the Brent Bulls on the 20th of December at 5:30 here at the Manchester Basketball Centre. As Mystics with some work to do here in the fourth quarter. Chinamasa. Hands off to Spence. Spence has the ball knocked away, picks it up though, keeps it with the Mystics. Idowu with 7 seconds. Idowu needs to pass out. Chinamasa's there, 1 second, puts it up at the buzzer, won't go, and it's tipped into the hands of Goldsby. Eitel-Rock. To Hunt. Goldsby with 7 seconds, spins, hangs in the air, puts it in the basket.
Oh, what a move that was. I mean, nice little spin there, just able to spin that quickly and set her shot up like properly and sink it like that. That is crazy.
And Spence for 3, doesn't drop. Back to a 9-point lead here for the All-Stars. It's really sticking around that 9-10 point mark.
Yeah, Mystics unable to kind of cut down any further into that, but now, like this next probably like 6 or 7 minutes is probably going to be really important in this game. I mean, if they can't chip into that lead anymore, then it's going to start to be looking a little bit realistic.
So Manchester ball here from the sideline as Odemwingie gets it into Chinamasa. Chinamasa playing her 2nd season for the Division 1 Mystics this year, as ball's picked off by Degner. And Degner over to Hunt. Eitel-Rock. Eitel-Rock going to the basket. And another big bucket there from Eitel-Rock takes the All-Stars to 48 points, and again a chance to increase this lead here at the foul line. So Eitel-Rock now into double figures along with her 7 rebounds.
Yeah, we spoke about how much of a strong player she is inside, just being able to score, and yeah, sorry, they just stood there on the wrong way in the free throw, confused me. Being able to score, get the foul and score and sink it, it's just crazy.
As Oyeyemi's shot pops out. And Odemwingie all the way to the basket, scoops it in.
Yeah, success on Wingie. I mean, just the end of that 3rd quarter, start of this quarter, just really racing down the floor, doing what she does best, just beating all the defense there, getting the layups. These are really important points that she's picking up.
One of the fastest players you're going to see out there on the floor as an answer from Degner and the All-Stars. And Amy Degner, she's been making some tough baskets today.
Yeah, it's just been the story of the game, really. Every time the Mystics find some good scores, find some good signs of offense, they're also just able to answer back on the other end.
There's a foul on the floor. There's Mystics trying to get it into Idowu.
But to be fair, the All-Stars have been really disciplined on defense so far. I mean, they've only got, 5, 6, 10 fouls, I think, compared to the Mystics. I'm not really going to count that, am I?
We can check it on the live stats. 18 fouls for the Mystics. So, yeah, 10 for the All-Stars as Manchester have it from the end line. Spence. And an offensive foul goes against the Mystics. It will be All-Stars ball. And you can just see again, it's that experience for London. As they've got an 11-point lead here in the 4th quarter. Eitel-Rock against Idowu. Degner. Ball's knocked away by Spence. The All-Stars have it though. As Hunt underneath the basket takes herself up to 14 points, and Jess Hunt with a big game so far has been averaging 9.3 points per game. She's up to 14 here. The Welsh international showing exactly what she can do out on the floor for the All-Stars. As Spence pulls up from the baseline, doesn't go. And All-Stars bowling, you can just see it feels like the All-Stars are really stepping up the intensity here.
Yeah, it does. It just feels as if the momentum is with them at the moment. I mean, especially following that big and one. I mean, they've had a few times where they've got had and ones, not being able to convert, but just to be able to finish with the foul calls just is enough to bring up the energy.
Hunt against Perdomo. Hands off to Goldsby. Goldsby pulls the trigger, too much on it. Odemwingie, and ball's knocked away there by Goldsby. Manchester come up with it. And the All-Stars look to get it over the halfway line. But you can just see the pressure now. It's just knocking the ball. Manchester might get the ball back, but it's just knocking the ball out of those passing lanes, being really disruptive.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Sometimes they haven't even had, a lot of times they're not even getting two hands on it, but it is just passing. They're just getting that hand in the lane. The Mystics might still have it, but it really just throws it off because they might not be catching it in the correct position. Then it takes them a few seconds to kind of not reset, but kind of move the ball into the correct position. They might have caught it really high because the pass got tipped. They have to bring it low down. It just gives them split seconds to really just count for a lot as they add up, because then they've got to, it lets the All-Stars get back onto defense, and get themselves in the correct position. So
as Perdomo, high arcing three, doesn't fall. And Goldsby with 2 steals so far for the All-Stars. She had an 11-steal game against Bristol, but she has been really the architect of, as we said, just putting her hand in the passing lane, knocking the ball, getting those tipped passes. As Spence, hanging in the air, and Kizzy Spence with a showtime play at the basket.
Yeah, again though, fast breaks. The Mystics have shown a lot more signs of fast breaks in this second half, but we didn't really see them execute that many in that first half.
I think that's a testament to the London defence as well, because we know the Mystics are a team that like to run the floor.
Yeah, but they've just been able to get there, get back, or disrupt it by, as we say, getting the hands in them passing lanes.
So just under 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. It's an 11-point All-Stars lead. If the Mystics are going to make a run, they need to do it now. Andrew, round to Spence. Spence gets the whistle, so Kizzy Spence will go to the foul line here. Spence with 7 points today, 3 rebounds for the Mystics. As we'll see, Bex Morrison and Carlotta de Mergelina come into the game for the All-Stars. Jess Hunt and Izzy Oyemi take a seat. And Jess Hunt leading all scorers with 14 points personal. As Letitia Willis comes onto the floor for Manchester.
Yeah, she's really going to have to think about how she plays defense with them 4 fouls. Just actually get in the correct positions and not swing. Not that she has been doing that, but can't really afford to swing her hands.
As Spence gets the first, it's a 10-point game. And gets the second, leads back down to 9.
Yeah, so as you said before, they've kind of hung around this 10-point, 9-point lead. It'll be interesting if the Mystics can break into that now. Really, they need to in the sort of next 2 minutes if they want a chance of bringing it back.
Goldsby pulls up from the elbow, gets the foul, and that's the 3rd team foul on the Mystics, and Kat Goldsby heading back to the free throw line. And again, just as she has done all game long, that's the 10th foul that she's drawn.
Wow.
So
Odemwingie.
Oh, and that's the 5th on Odemwingie. So Odemwingie will have to sit now for the rest of the game, and that's a loss for the Mystics, as Odemwingie's really kind of been helping lead that scoring burst.
Yeah, that is a big loss. I mean, as you said, especially towards the end of that 3rd quarter, coming into this 4th, she has been able to push the floor, get them fast breaks. I mean, we know how fast she is. She's been the first one there every time on each side. Mystics going to have to find someone else to do the job of Odemwingie, really.
As Goldsby goes 1 of 2 from the line. Willis gets the ball to Andrew. Spence. Over to Perdomo. It's a 10-point game. Perdomo goes to the basket. Scoop layup doesn't fall as it's out of bounds, but last touch Manchester. And we'll see Yuri Yamaguchi come into the game. Amy Degner heads to the bench. Degner with 6 points for the All-Stars. To Mergelina. Helena needs help to get it over the line. Goldsby's there. As London look to go inside, ball's knocked out of bounds by Hernandez. London will have 4 seconds on the clock here.
Yeah, good hands from Hernandez there.
Yamaguchi will inbound. Oyeyemi, 2 seconds, 1 second. And time will expire. So Manchester will have the ball back, down 10 here, under 4 minutes to play. Spence. Perdomo. Hands off to Andrew. Andrew runs into 3 defenders, and a foul call goes against London. That'll put them on 3 team fouls. So both Manchester and London on 3 team fouls here in the 4th quarter. So Chloe Andrew at the foul line. Andrew off the bench with 4 assists and 3 rebounds, along with 2 points today. Looks to make it a single-digit lead, and she does. And again, we're back to that 9-point mark. And second one, can't get the roll. Oyeyemi with rebound number 14. She's 1 point shy of a double-double as Yamaguchi passes over to Helena. Ball's knocked away. Willis comes away with it. Andrew to Perdomo. Perdomo has space to the basket, and Georgia Perdomo, a big basket there, an and one opportunity. As the Mystics, again, they're just not going away, Isha.
Yeah, they're really not. I mean, just finally cutting into that lead, finally breaking that sort of 9-point barrier that the All-Stars have had in this game. I mean, we saw in the second quarter, I'm going to say, they did kind of cut into lead a bit more. I think they were only 5 points down, but since then they really haven't been able to break into it up until now, and this is when it really matters. I mean, this last 3 minutes is really going to, well, obviously, yeah, so it's going to be it's going to decide the game. So yeah, if the Mystics don't sort of keep this lead, dig into it a little bit more, they've done a good job at chipping away slowly.
So it's been a 9-all run so far this quarter. The Mystics will be at the foul line when we come back out of the timeout. But it really was the 23-15 lead that the All-Stars put up in the first quarter that's really set the tone. They've led from the tip so far. Their biggest lead of the game being 14 points. Like we said, Manchester keep bring it back around that 9-point mark, but just haven't kind of been able to get over that.
Yeah, exactly. And then I mean, I don't actually like thinking about it like this, but you know, I know a lot of people will be like, oh, well, if they didn't have that if they didn't have that first quarter, which is true, if they didn't have that first quarter, then the game would be within maybe 1 or 2 points. But then I guess I don't like that, because you can say about anything. Yeah. Then you could be like, oh yeah, we've made all our free throws, we would be in the lead. But like,
if we only played 5 minutes.
Exactly.
If first basket wins. So
exactly, because that's why it's if not. Yeah, that's why it's if not actually the facts. But
you've got to play the full 40 minutes of the full game. So
exactly.
Georgia Perdomo here at the foul line for Manchester has 3 points and 2 rebounds so far. As can't get it to go, but ball's tipped and Willis comes up with it. Perdomo calling for it outside the 3-point line, lines it up and knocks it down, and Georgia Perdomo, 5 straight points, brings it back to was it a long 2? It looked like a 3.
It did.
We'll get that confirmed on the floor. As ball's in the corner, Oyeyemi doesn't get it to go. Hernandez has it. I think that was a long 2 on that last shot, Isha.
Yeah, I
so
think so
4
too,
straight points from Perdomo.
Yeah, but 4 points in what, 2 seconds? But now, yeah, London All-Stars in team fouls, which puts it just a good position for the Mystics, because now obviously every foul will lead to free throws. Who's at the line? I think, is it Spence at the lines? Yep, Spence got a chance to bring it down, cut that All-Stars lead down to 1 possession.
So a couple of big free throws here for the Mystics. And Georgia Perdomo with a big swing there. 4 straight points for Perdomo, not 5. Oh, they have changed it to...
Oh, that's because
yeah.
Spence just made the free
No,
throw.
we're on the volley. Should we know what's going on? So 1 of 2 from the line for Spence, and it's a 4-point game. Eitelrock to Demerhelina. Back to Eitelrock. Eitelrock on the baseline. Over to Oyeyemi. Doesn't go. Willis with the rebound, and the Mystics have a chance to cut this to a single possession. Andrew gonna take it to the basket, gets the whistle! And Chloe Andrew with a huge basket there for the Mystics. A chance for a 3-point play. And the Mystics have a chance to bring this back within 1 after being down 14 and being down 9-10 points a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just as we thought it was slipping through their fingers, they've just been able to bring it back. I mean, Perdomo before 4 points in like 3 seconds or something. Spence drawing that foul, getting to the line. Now Chloe Andrew, this big and 1 opportunity, isn't able to convert. Oh, never mind.
A lane violation, so we'll take it again here from the foul line. So Chloe Andrew will get another chance here. It's a 2-point game. Just over 2 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. As Andrew off the bench with 5 points, make it 6, and it's a 1-point game as Manchester with an incredible comeback here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah,
Look to try and get a stop.
And we know this also side, they've lost a fair number of games by single digits, 1 point, 2 point, 3 points. So they'll be really wanting to kind of break that sort of thing that they've got themselves into.
Great save by Degner as the ball's loose. It's on the floor, 1 second on the shot clock. Jump ball's called, and it will be All-Stars possession.
Yeah, they've got 1 second to try and get a shot off here. Another great defensive possession by the Mystics. We said in this second half that they really stepped it up. Forced those 24-second violations. Let's see if they can pick up another one here.
So Degner with 1 second, ball's tipped, and that will run out the clock on the possession. Great hands there from the Mystics, again taking the time off the clock. And they have a chance to go ahead for the first time in this game. Ball's into Spence, has Goldsby on her. London on 5 team fouls here as Perdomo. Shot doesn't drop, but Andrew gets the rebound. Another chance for Manchester. Hernandez against Oyeyemi, takes it to the basket, and Manchester go up by 1 late in the 4th quarter here. What a basket from Alex Hernandez. And is that a technical foul we've got called?
For flopping, yeah.
So technical foul called against the Mystics. So that means 1 free throw to come here at the line for the All-Stars, and it will be Goldsby that takes it, as we'll see Bex Morrison come into the game. Amy Degner heads to the bench. So a big free throw here for the All-Stars. Goldsby with a chance to tie at the line. Goldsby with 7 points, 8 rebounds. She's drawn 10 fouls and ties the game at 54 all. And we go back to where we were before that technical foul was called. So it was London possession as Goldsby will inbound. Just over a minute to go here. Morrison against Hernandez. Goldsby, 7 seconds, ball's picked off by Hernandez. Perdomo's running, keeps it alive and drops the ball in the basket. Georgia Perdomo, have yourself a game. A huge basket there for Perdomo. Gives the Mystics a 2-point lead. Oyeyemi, hands off to Hunt. Against Andrew. Hunt, not that time. Ball's loose. Hunt gets a second chance for the All-Stars as Eitelrock passes down to the baseline, and Eitelrock too strong as the ball's loose on the floor. Eventually, someone comes up with it. We've got to stop.
Foul called. Foul called on the Mystics. Yep, and at the line because they're both on team fouls. But, well, I mean, what a possession. It's been the story of the whole game, really. I mean, the All-Stars getting those offensive rebounds, and now they're at the line. I mean, it's led to scores. It's led to scoring opportunities. Now, when it really matters, we've got 2 chances at the line to tie the game.
As Oyeyemi will take the first, gets it to go.
But yeah, that sort of like 3-person rotation on the inside. They've got Oyeyemi, they've got Hunt and Eitelrock. Just saw them passing the ball around there inside, and it makes the team such a big threat. As
Oyeyemi, 2 of 2 from the line. We're tied at 56 all as we have a timeout called. 25.5 seconds in the 4th quarter, so the Mystics can essentially they can use 24 seconds of that if they want to run the clock down to take a very late shot. It's going to give the All-Stars, around 1 or 2 seconds to put something up. What do you do here, Isha, if you are head coach Rob Fairley? What are you drawing up in that huddle on his little coaching board?
Well, will be interesting what sort of play he draws up. He could stick with one of the plays that they've practiced and learned throughout the season so far, ones that they haven't used as much, or he could draw something up completely new. Whatever it is, the clock is on the Mystics side at the moment, although the shot clock is showing 4 seconds, but I'm assuming they have 24 seconds because
it's a reset.
Unless they add he might
advance, yeah.
So if he okay, that should completely forgot about that. Yeah, so if he advances it, obviously only 14 seconds, that does mean that the All-Stars will have around 11 seconds, 10, 11 seconds maybe to get something off. But yeah, the Mystics really got to be thinking about the shot they're taking because, I mean, if we look at some of the previous possessions there, they did shoot a 3-pointer kind of only 20 seconds into the offense. Probably not the best shot that you're going to be taking in that game. And, okay, Rob Fairley's chosen not to advance the ball, which means the Mystics can use that whole 24 seconds.
But then you also have to counter that press, from the London defence. So both teams on 5 team fouls. A foul either way will send teams to the foul line. So Manchester with possession here, 17 seconds, 1 second difference between the shot and game clock. Andrew to Spence, Spence for 3, doesn't fall, ball's tipped, and it will be All-Stars possession with 8.1 seconds to go. So head coach Ruth Eitel takes a timeout. She's going to draw something up here for the All-Stars, and let's see what they go to. But that's a good look for Spence and the Mystics.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that 3-pointer on top, we've seen her hit that before. I mean, we've seen her hit last season plenty of times. That shot to kind of, I think it was a game against ARU, I believe. Hit literally the exact same shot at the top of the 3-point line, sent it to overtime. It is a good look, but obviously now the possession is with the All-Stars. 8.1 seconds to go. The clock is on their side. They can just use this whole 8 seconds.
And as we've said, these are incredibly experienced players that you've got out there on the floor. Players that have played in the WBBL, played for several years, and players that have played together as well. So this is a situation that they'll have been in several times throughout the course of their careers, and that they'll know how to manage the clock and the expectation of what they need to do.
Yeah, exactly. So if you look at it from that aspect, definitely they are in the better position. Whereas, being in this position before, probably most of them, but you don't know what's going to happen on the day. And that always is you can say it's a factor. I mean, you can say it about anything, really, you know what's going to happen on the day, but it's true.
So Manchester here, they need to try and not foul, obviously being on those 5 team fouls. So the All-Stars, really with the advantage here, would you imagine they're going to look to drive to the basket because they've been so successful inside, and if they don't get the shot that they want, they could draw the foul?
They could, or they'll try and pass it into one of those inside plays. I mean, they've got 3. Well, I mean, every player on that court right now can play inside, but they've got those 3 kind of players who are more inside players with. So we'll see what happens.
Ball's knocked out of bounds, and that takes half a second off the shot clock. So 7.5 seconds as Eitelrock looks to get it in. Morrison to Goldsby. Goldsby with 4 seconds and a foul on the floor. And that will put Kat Goldsby at the foul line here, and a chance to put the All-Stars ahead with 4 seconds left in the fourth. And Goldsby, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, has drawn 11 fouls and gone 6 of 9 so far from the free throw line. So 2 big free throws to come here for Goldsby. And you talk about experience, but Kat Goldsby 7th in the league in free throw percentage, and probably not the player that you want to foul.
Definitely not. I mean, sink the first one, see what she does with the second. I don't know if Rob Valley does have one more timeout if she does sink it, but...
And spins out, but a rebound there from Eitelrock. And the London All-Stars with a 1-point win over the Manchester Mystics, withstanding the Mystics' 14-point comeback in the fourth quarter. And Kat Goldsby icing it at the end of the game there for the All-Stars. I mean, that's a huge win for the All-Stars and a really well-deserved win.
Yeah, it is. I mean, really, as much as I didn't want to put it all down to that first quarter, but it was that first quarter that made the difference, really. I mean, if you look at the previous quarters, the Mystics actually won that quarter 19-13. They won this third quarter 14-12. Lost the second quarter by 1 point. I mean, the All-Stars had it 9-8, but that first quarter 23-15. It really was that 8-point cushion that gave the All-Stars the win. If we want to talk about it like that, it really is, because those 8 points, yeah, the rest of the game was so close. If the first quarter was as close as the rest of the quarters, then it would have been a more kind of achievable thing, especially the way the Mystics were able to dig in and withstand the comeback. I mean, obviously they didn't go all the way, which is unfortunate, but yeah, it really was that first quarter. And I mean, that final possession, then final 4 seconds, if it wasn't the story of the whole game, just those offensive rebounds. How many offensive rebounds did they even have in that game? I mean, 20 offensive
That's
rebounds.
Huge. 20 offensive rebounds, 5 of them from Jess Hunt, 4 of them from Izzy Onyeyemi. And Onyeyemi with that huge rebound there at the end, just to seal the win, not letting Manchester get another chance, because with 4 seconds, like you said, a timeout, they could have put something up, but that's how they play. That's how the All-Stars play, and the fact that, you know, they can win that game based on a big free throw there from Kat Goldsby, but also crashing the offensive glass. That's very well deserved. Yeah,
it is. I mean, if you look at that compared to the Mystics, 13 offensive rebounds, they only had 24 defensive rebounds compared to 32 from the All-Stars. So
the All-Stars led by Jess Hunt, 14 points from her, along with 6 rebounds. Izzy Onyeyemi with a huge double-double, 11 points, 14 rebounds. Kat Goldsby, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, was just absolutely crucial, had her fingerprints all over that game for the All-Stars. And for the Mystics, 10 points from Marimbo Chinamasa, along with 2 rebounds, 10 points from Kizzy Spence, and 3 rebounds, and Success Odemwingie, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. So Manchester will head to Bristol next weekend. That'll be at 5 o'clock in Bristol before facing the Brent Bulls at home here on December the 20th. And London will be playing against Anglia Ruskin on the 13th next Saturday. So Isha, a big win there for the All-Stars. They moved to 3 and 5 in the standings. For Manchester, 7 wins, 2 losses. That puts them joint top of the table with Kohler, both on 14 points. Kohler with a loss to Ipswich today. But there's so much parity in this league. It's so much. Anyone could beat anyone on any given day.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we've seen it in previous years. There has been much closer games. I mean, it's kind of, without disrespecting the teams, but it has been obvious who was going to win, who's going to be in the top sort of 1, 2, 3 seeds, who's going to be in that lower end of the table. But this season, as you say, I mean, it's anyone's game. Any game is anyone's game. If we look at this All-Star side, I mean, they were 2-5 coming into this game. They don't look like a 2-5 team, really. If you look at Loughborough playing the Mystics the other week, they were winless when they played the Mystics. They didn't look like a winless side. So any side really could literally be any side. I mean, Ipswich, Kohler, famously, they've been kind of the ones that have topped the table, dominated all the games, but they haven't really been. Yes, they've not been rubbish. Obviously, they're not that if you're rubbish at the bottom of the table, but they haven't been it's not they've been very winless like in previous seasons, but they haven't been as dominant sort of going into games, blowing teams out by however many points. A lot of games have been really close. I mean, a lot of teams have been beating teams that we wouldn't expect them to beat.
We've seen single-digit games, single-point games. It's been, it's great.
Exactly, and then we've seen other games where it's like, oh, that was going to be a close game. Check the live stats after the game, and then it's like a 20-point game to one team. So
anything can happen, and that
really
is the exciting thing about this Division 1 season, and we're only about halfway through. So the final score from here in Manchester: London All-Stars 57, the Manchester Mystics 56. The All-Stars pull up their 3rd win of the season, and the Mystics go again next Saturday, as do the All-Stars. Big thank you to everybody who's watched live on the Manchester Magic and Mystics YouTube channel. We'll be back with you on the 20th of December when Manchester face the Brent Bulls. So from myself, Kaz Bullock, and from Ishania, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.